season. But I love the Clippers even more. The number one team in the West is the one with a ton of talent and the most to prove. The Warriors were cut down by injury and Kevin Durant's exit, not their fault. The Clippers, though, are looked on as failures. Their players are too talented for that label, and the new coach is going to want to prove that letting Doc Rivers go was the right decision. I expect Kawhi Leonard and Paul George to lean less on load management and play more than last season to get chemistry going. The Clippers will be favorites again when the 2021 postseason rolls.
Wow, A.M Hoops said some really strange stuff. He said that the Clippers are going to be the number one seed. And today's video, I will be talking about why the LA Clippers are not one seed worthy and they're not a title contender. Which might be crazy to you, but not crazy to me, because I feel like the Clippers have been getting really overrated. I've heard many people saying that they could even win a championship this year. They have another chance, obviously. Obviously, they have all that talent, as A.M Hoops was talking about that. They have that talent with Kawhi and Paul George. But look at the situation that they have. And the first reason is that Doc Rivers got fired. And he was actually a really good coach, even though I thought he was really overrated. But Tyronn Lue is going to replace him. I really doubt he's going to be a better coach. He has something to prove. He could handle all-stars and superstars like that. But really, you're getting into a new system, a different situation with Tyronn Lue. And things will be different. And that's the first knock I have on the Clippers. Like, their coaching, their head coach, I feel like that's the person they should have hired, but I think in the first place, they shouldn't even have fired Doc Rivers, because there was no coach in the market that's better than Doc Rivers, other than like Mike D'Antoni or something. But again, like, the Clippers got Tyronn Lue, and obviously he won a championship and all, and he has all that experience. But in my opinion, he's not going to be as good as Doc Rivers, and it's just going to be a different situation. So first of all, the coaching spot is not going to be that good. Second of all, the conferences are so stacked. Look at the Golden State Warriors, look at the LA Lakers, look at the Denver Nuggets, look at the Houston Rockets, look at the Portland Trailblazers, look at the Dallas Mavericks, who almost beat them. The Dallas Mavericks. Say whatever you want, but the Dallas Mavericks almost beat them last year. And they didn't even have Kristaps Porzingis. The Luka was basically carrying them. And maybe if they had Kristaps Porzingis, you never know what could happen. Like, that's how crazy the NBA is right there. Maybe they could have won, you never know. And you have the Warriors, obviously. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green. And they have the second overall pick, which they could trade. In my opinion, they will trade that pick and try to get an all-star with the second overall pick, trading that pick. And in my opinion, like, the Clippers can't match up with these really good teams. Another reason that I think the Clippers are highly overrated and won't be championship contenders is that Montrezl Harrell is a free agent, and he's a key part to their team. He's a key energy guy, and he is such a good player, and he brings such good intensity to the team. He is a really good energy guy, could dunk a lot. He's actually an okay passer. If you want him to, he could be a pretty good defender. I'm not sure I don't think he's a good defender, because against Jokic, he played trash defensively. But losing a center like that, an energy guy like that, would be really sad for the Clippers. Montrezl Harrell would probably want him back, so I don't see him re-signing with the Clippers. I see him going to a team maybe like the Mavericks, maybe the Hornets, some team like that. I'm not sure which team he'll go to, but I don't think he will re-sign with the Clippers. And then you will be running Ibaka Zubac at center, which obviously he's okay, but you need a better center. Another reason is that they don't have a facilitator. They might get Rajon Rondo, obviously, who proved himself in the playoffs, but I think he's gonna stay with the Lakers since they are the team that won the NBA championship. So I really don't think that Rajon Rondo will sign there. I don't think they're gonna go out there and get a really good passer. So, well, they need a facilitator, and we saw that in the second round of the NBA playoffs. Kawhi Leonard actually was a pretty good passer in that series, but you probably need like a secondary facilitator like Rajon Rondo, but I really don't think they're gonna sign someone like that. And they'll also need someone to replace Montrezl Harrell, which probably they will sign someone like that, but there's not two good centers in the market. There is Aaron Baines and stuff, but like that's just not like reasonable to get someone like Aaron Baines. And I really don't think that's reasonable. And the Clippers will ultimately not have a facilitator, and Montrezl Harrell probably will want a bag, and he will probably leave the Clippers, in my opinion. He also is showing a little bit of signs going to the Raptors, and not having a facilitator and an energy guy on your team is really key. Knowing that the Clippers didn't play good in the playoffs last year, I really think they got exposed, and their weaknesses really got exposed. Many teams thought that the Clippers would win the NBA championship last year, but they weren't able to do something like that. Their team wasn't good enough. They couldn't win against the Denver Nuggets. Their talent level was good, but their chemistry was bad. Their weaknesses got exposed, such as not good center play, Montrezl Harrell playing bad defense, Lou Williams playing bad offense and defense. Kawhi Leonard didn't play that good. And Paul George, obviously, you know him in the playoffs. And if they trade Paul George, too, I think that would be a bad trade because they probably won't get an all-star back. Paul George's value has gotten down. And also, he hasn't been playing that good in the playoffs, obviously. And because of his value going down dramatically, I don't think any team will want to trade an all-star for Paul George. And ultimately, his value would be at an all-time low. And the NBA would be different, obviously, as it's really stacked. Situation right now for the Clippers it's just not a good situation to win an NBA championship. They probably have to do some really good trades to probably at least be a title contender, but in my opinion, I don't even think they're a title contender. And as A.M Hoops said, they're gonna be the 1 seed, but I think they won't because the West is stacked. I think probably the Warriors will probably be the 1 seed. The West is really, really stacked. Maybe even the Lakers would be the 1 seed. But I just can't picture a team like the Clippers going to be the 1 seed or being title contenders again. Because, yes, you do need all-stars to win a championship. But you have to look into the context of the team to really know if they're a championship worthy team. They do have really good depth, obviously, but in my opinion, I think the Clippers, they're not going to be title contenders next year, and they're highly overrated. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe. AJ out.